Hi, I'm Timothy Zahn, author of Thrawn, and you're listening to the Escape Pod cast. This episode was recorded in front of a live studio audience.
One is a former EA game changer. The other is a territory battle tactician. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. But with both having decades of hosting experience under their belt, the one thing we are sure of is you will be entertained. This is the Escape Pod Cast, a weekly look into the mobile game Star Wars: Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the Nerdy Network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Thaddeus Broderick and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
Since we were off last week, we have so much to discuss.
Wait a minute. You're not Neil.
No, I'm not. What gave it away? My not British accent?
Well, welcome, Thad. Welcome to fill-in duty.
Always happy to help.
I mean, since it was a week off, we do have the state of the galaxy to talk about.
And the second sister to talk about?
Along with the compensation for the GAC issue. It's going to be a packed show.
So how do we handle guests around here? Was I supposed to find somebody?
Luckily, I did reach out and I found us someone.
Excellent. I'm hoping it's one of those dreamboat streamers that I hear so much about.
In fact, it's one of the dreamiest. We have Gridan scheduled to join us for our incoming transmission.
I do love that man's hair.
Dad, you'd be jealous of Homer Simpson's hair.
That is a fact, sir.
With Jiggabachi also off this week, we're going to see if we can dial in Nev from his phone from Atlantis.
Ooh, excellent. I hope he has reception. But otherwise, you might need to have that tangent alert ready.
No, don't worry about that. We have enough to discuss and regress into.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Escape Pod Cast. I am Paul Anthony. As you heard, Neil's currently unable to make it today, so we asked Thad to step in. I was feeling horrible last week, and we had no Thad couldn't make it, so we called off the show. So this week, we've got 2 weeks to catch up on. But first off, Thaddeus, thank you for filling in. How are you, sir?
I am wonderful. I am always happy to be here. I've secretly been trying to kick Nev out of this chair for a while, and it's nice to be here.
It's nice to have you. Now, there are some that might, on the video version, might notice that above my left shoulder is the newest member of the cast, our, our navigational computer, if you will. Bob, say hello.
Hey guys, thank you guys for downloading the BOB program. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be part of the ship, and hopefully have a lot of adventures, lots of good adventures to come.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I'm being told to boost volume. I guess we'll do a live mic check on the podcast. Hello there.
Hello there.
Yeah, we're coming through at the same level, so.
Hello.
Yep, everybody's coming in at the same level. So, sorry, Awakened. Also, one thing for those also on the video podcast, thank you for making this happen. My the final dental procedure has gone through, and I actually have teeth to smile at everybody with now. So.
And what a pretty smile it is.
Yep.
Like a bunch of crepe pearls.
Indeed.
Thank you, Bob. All right. So let's get into I guess
there's so much.
Yeah, let's kick it off with the state of the galaxy. Let me pull that up here. This was originally supposed to be the January State of the Galaxy, but got pushed into the beginning of February.
Now, before we jump into this, I got to say what's interesting about this is we were all looking for the road ahead, right? I was expecting the road ahead. And I remember while we were in I know, but like I was expecting the road ahead, and I was in the SWGOH Events Discord channel, and what's his face popped in, and like people were asking like, where's the road ahead? Where's the road ahead? And he even says like, look, I think we're going to get a State of the Galaxy before we get a road ahead. And, you know,
do you think we're getting one at the end of the month?
So like 2 weeks from now, week and a half from now.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be next week.
Next week.
I think we'll get something next week. We have, as we talked about, we have the second sister that just came in. The ninth sister was last week. And I feel like I keep calling her the night sister.
It sounded like it.
It does, but the ninth sister, I don't like that. But like, I think very much so that we'll be getting something. Maybe not a full road ahead, but like a mini road ahead.
Bob, this is one chance for you to be able to help out real quick. What was the first road ahead? When was the first road ahead in 2021? Check that out for us real quick.
All right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's, I thought that it was the end of February. I thought they do like November, February, every 3 months, but I could be wrong. But let's get into it. High Hero Table Hollows, we are charging into this year with more characters, ships, and the new Inquisitorius faction. Our team has put together an ambitious plan for 2022 that seeks to keep this game exciting for many more years.
Years being the relevant word there.
Yeah, we have more to share about the larger changes coming this year and future updates, but in this month's State of the Galaxy, I want to give you an update of what's coming in the near future and the team's goals for shaping the meta over the future. Conquest 13 has begun, and we want to provide an update on Conquest, where Conquest characters are moving to. So, first paragraph, did it grab your attention last week?
So I will say that I take more time to digest these than I used to. I used to be very gung-ho about like every post they put out, and I would just like I would devour it. I would go and I'm like, oh my gosh, and so some of my excitement has waned. I mean, the game's 5 years old, so that's huge for, I think, a mobile game. But one of the things that stands out to me is that concept of years to come, right? I mean, for those that remember back when I want to call her Cookie. What was her name?
Carrie?
Carrie. Well, no, not it was before Carrie even. It was, I can't even remember, but it was the manager before Carrie. But even with Carrie, the concept was, we want this game to last forever. You know, or I mean, it wasn't forever, but like it was definitely like, we have years and years and years of content prepared for this. And, you know, I know that over the years I've speculated, and it's cool for me to see them still with that. Yeah, our goal is not months ahead. We're not planning like, what are we going to do tomorrow? We're looking at like 6 months, a year, 3 years down the road. And that brings me hope. Like, that's a legitimate, like, oh, awesome. That's cool. You know?
Yeah. So, upcoming units and themes. Do you have an answer for us, Bob?
Yes. The first one was April 29th of 2021.
So there was not one before that.
My data banks do not see anything before April 29th.
All right. So there was not one in January, February, or March. So it wasn't 3 So,
but then they had one on July 27th and one on October 26th.
yeah, that would be every 3 months. So October,
Yeah.
November, December, January. January would have been the next road ahead. So beginning of March, maybe?
Yeah, and that's where I would place it. You know, beginning of March, at the maybe latest, maybe earliest. You know, I don't know, but I think March-ish, because we have so much stuff that will be leading up to April that they'll want to get March out first, and then go into April with this is what's going now.
All right. So the next sentence itself kind of made me a little sad. As we move on from our Legends characters in celebration of Lucasfilm's 50th anniversary, we have another thrilling group of characters to explore, the Inquisitors. Nobody expects the Empire Inquisition.
No. The Inquisition!
If you have played Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or watched Rebels, then you may be familiar with the elite group of Force-sensitive agents tasked by Vader to hunt down remaining Jedi. Okay, cool. I mean, we knew this. We knew there were more coming.
Yep.
I still maintain that they are Phoenix meets bounty hunters, to where each lead will serve a specific tool.
Yeah.
But they'll all feed off of each other and interact with each other, as I'm sure we'll get the Grand Inquisitor, who will encompass everybody in themselves. You know,
Sure.
Neil's been calling for it as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it would make sense. I feel like with a lot of what we've seen in the TV shows and what's going on, I feel like the Grand Inquisitor is just on his way. Right. With all the stuff coming from Kenobi, we're going to see the Grand Inquisitor.
Now, a few weeks ago, we introduced the first member of the faction's second sister. The ninth sister will be the second member, this massive assassin. Not kidding.
Yeah.
This massive assassin works as the Inquisitor's squad tank. She can take a ton of punishment, and she keeps enemy attacks focused on herself instead of her allies. And then we'll be getting into her ninth sister. By the way, I do have to quickly run down and say thank you to Run DMV before the show went even on the air during the countdown. Gifted 5 subs, and then Run DMV has been just throwing bits everywhere. We thank Run DMV for his support. And also, one other thing I do have to mention, as you notice, Nev's not here. He is trying to get his daughters here to the U.S. to visit, and what I am doing is anything raised this month, in order to get it to him on time, anything raised this month 100% goes to him. And that's a bit of something, because normally, you know, it's my birthday next week. Especially anything on that day goes to Neil. I want his daughters to have a nice time when they're here. So Nev's studio took a hit, is what we'll say. He's okay. The studio seems to be okay, but he was unfortunately unable to make it in a full capacity. He will be joining us later in the show. All right, so we will continue to explore more Inquisitor characters. So at least 2 coming up.
Yes.
We'll continue to explore an additional Inquisitor character.
Yeah. So we are getting the full Inquisitorius here, right? And what it seems to me, the thing that I got from this, and I don't think that this is necessarily what they were trying to do, but I feel like what they are going to do is what they did with the 50th anniversary characters, right? We got those 4 characters, and then we got Starkiller. I think we're going to get 4 of the Inquisitors, and then we'll get something awesome, right? Whatever. But I think that's how they're going to be playing it is, give us something small periodically that then later builds to something bigger. Right.
They did say that they were not going to do a Star Killer like event with them. They came out and said that. I saw it somewhere.
Okay.
Well, then, Bob, shut down. Shut down, Bob. I'm just kidding.
All right. Run DMV just donated 10,000 bits to Neil.
Thank you, Ron.
That is the largest donation we've ever had on this show.
That's huge, man.
Thank you, Ron. No other way to put it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
All right. We'll move forward here as much as I'm trying not to be broken. The
Paul.
The entire Inquisitor prototype, piloted by Second Sister, is a powerful reinforcement for the Empire fleets. I also think with her cooldown abilities, with the Interceptor's capital ship cooldown, that's going straight into a Executor squad. You bring that thing in and bring down cooldowns. Yeah.
Well, and we're going to get to this here in a second. Like we've been talking about this for a while, but like ships, they need to do something with ships, and it seems like they've gotten the message, or have received the message long ago, and have said, "All right, let's put some stuff into play now." And I think it's awesome that this is one of the first things that we see is a conquest level character, in the form of a ship. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, we definitely get another one. By the way, we are 3 minutes. If anybody donates 100 bits or does a sub that's not Run or Cascade, thank you, Cascade, for the 100 bits. We will get a hype train going, which is amazing. All right. So they said there are 2 more ships coming to Galaxy of Heroes via galactic chase events.
Mm-hmm.
So we get, are you aware of what that picture that they put on there for the TIE Echelon comes from?
Yes. That is actually taken from my backyard. I have created a scale model.
Your backyard is Disney, is Galaxy's Edge?
Yeah, I've been sleeping in the park for the last month. They haven't found me yet, but there's just so many tunnels underneath Disneyland that they'll never find me. But that is the shuttle that Kylo Ren. Kylo comes off of with the First Order in part of their play, right? In that play that they spend and they go and do the different things, right? The interactive part
part of Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah,
by the way,
that's where they come off of.
Dr. Feelgood, thank you for gifting a sub. Cascade, thanks for another 50 bits. We are 5% away from a maxed out hype train.
Yeah, level 5, baby. Woot, woot.
So, once again here, galactic chase events. My experience with these is getting into the 200 refreshes, completing all of the 200 crystal refreshes is what yields you a 7-star at the end of a galactic chase.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not a cheap event. But like it's still doable. That's, I think, for those who are, minnows or krakens or aggressive dolphins.
I'm an aggressive ship dolphin, flat out.
I'm an aggressive minnow, right? Periodically I will forget myself and I'll drop a vault.
You will lose yourself.
I will lose myself. I lost myself in trying to unlock old bald boba, dad bod boba, and I'm close. I'm really close. But I went through almost an entire vault, and so like I'm gonna postpone any more purchases until I can find a good crystal, sale that comes on. But for anyone who is interested in ships, I honestly think that if you want to be, the top of your game, these are going to be really interesting ones to have.
Well, I can honestly tell you that it looks like they are making it, I'll tell you this first, Thad.
Okay,
a really good way to get crystals is to actually play Grand Arena.
Yes, I've heard that.
I had to bust your chops in honor of Neil.
Yes. Well, hold on. I play it. Are you talking about playing it well?
Actually paying attention to it, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's different. That's different. Yeah, because I don't do that very well.
Thank you, Cass, for the 145 bits. Run DMV with another 100. We did max out that hype train. You guys are amazing.
You guys are great.
Yeah, Rusty Jason said you just need to read.
I do need to read. Rusty Jason is like Luke Skywalker to, Cade Skywalker, right? And Cade Skywalker was always like puffing on the death sticks to like get, Force Ghost Luke to like stop telling him what to do. That's Rusty Jason, except I'm more grateful than Cade Skywalker was to Force Ghost Luke, if that makes sense. Because without Rusty Jason, I would not be nearly as good as I am.
So the TIE Echelon is going to be a tank. Easily said. It's going to be a tank for the First Order. Where you're going to put it, are you going to sacrifice that? Are you going to sacrifice the silencer with the shuttle? And then I need to see what it's going to do. If it can call, if it has the ability to call the silencer, then it's going to be worth it. If it does not have a call an ally to attack, then I'm sticking with my SF TIE Fighter to take out MILF. If I see a home one on defense, it's toast. Yeah, I mean, I instantly hit Executor, don't care, boom, done.
Yeah. I think you're right. I mean, but here's the thing though, it's meant to be a tank, and they're both meant to be tanks. That should be something that we point out. They're both meant to be tanks. But my thought is it's still not a full fleet. It's still not everything that you need.
It's 5, but we only have 5 bounty hunter ships as well.
For now.
I mean, how many times in your offensive battles have you gone to use all ships?
How many times have I gone to use all ships? A lot. Quite a few. Like anyone who's seen me stream knows it's a lot. But I think that there's going to be more to it. Think of when we're doing, what is it? Territory battles? No.
Which one? The guild one? The cooperative
war, right?
Or the PvP?
Cooperative.
Then that's cooperative is PV is
no, the PvP one. Territory war. I'm looking at it now. The one we're doing right now. So think about this. If they could build more, they could put an entire new arena, or not arena, but a mode, an area, if they had more characters, if they had more ships. But right now their fleets aren't big enough. Additionally, if they ever want to do any event that is just ships, like any PvP or PvE that is just ships, I think they're going to need to build out fleet. And I think that's what they're starting to do. People want a Death Star raid. We will not get one until we have more ships.
Well,
I think it's simple as that.
Another ship we're getting is the MG-100. But to me, okay, that ship was not a tank.
Oh no.
In The Last Jedi, where it was introduced, that ship was not a tank at all.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. That ship blew up very quickly. In fact, all it needed was one shot, and it chain reaction blew up. You know, I'm very curious to see what happens with this.
It's a bomber. It is not a tank.
Yeah. So I'm curious. Now, like, bombers are meant to be, I don't know. I mean, I could see bombers as like being tanky, but I don't know. You know, I just don't see, it feels off is the short answer here. But I do love that it's being finally added to the game, you know, like 4 years after its introduction into Star Wars.
Are they going to put in Rose Tico's sister, Paige Tico?
Paige Tico, the actual the Tico that's worthwhile. If it's a galactic
Your opinion,
chase,
not mine.
It is. Well, no, here and I've read the books. I will say that Paige has a more robust storyline than Rose.
Not Rose's fault.
No, it's not. It has nothing to do with the actors or actresses. Like, it's just the writing. That's my point. But if this is a galactic chase, I don't see this being with a character, right? It feels like it wouldn't, but it could be. The Resistance needs more people, you know. First Order needs more people. I could totally see them adding characters, but I think that these are coming as pilotless ships.
Okay, I mean, it'd be another pilotless ship, and we're then also looking at the fact that we've been down that road where those pilotless ships, they're going to have to make them beefier.
Yep. And I think that's what they'll do, though.
But
I
what
think
about
they're going to
the
make
previous ones, like the Y-wing and the TIE bomber? I mean, those need to be beefed up as well if they're going to beef up these pilotless ships.
Could we see our first Omicron being put on a ship?
Oh, dear Lord, don't even go there.
I mean, it's a possibility. Not necessarily one that would make a whole lot of sense, because they are two different gear levels, right? So you don't have the same level, same type of gear that you would put on a character that you would put on a ship. So there's room for it not to be, you know, if that makes sense.
Now,
but
okay, I like Neil is in the chat. You know, he's not totally gone. No one's ever really gone.
No.
Neil says the bombers are going to be a zombie ship and regenerate as long as other ships are alive. I kind of like that.
I would make sense. And that's the thing. Like, the bombers, there was a whole fleet of them. It wasn't just one, right? And this is, again, and I know that Neil loves the new canon, specifically when it comes to episode 7, 8, and 9. But if you look at the ships that are that connected with Rose Tico's bomber, with the Fortress, there were a few of them. There were actually quite a few of them. And so it would make sense if we saw, you know, Neb says zombie, I think, you know, the droid, but it's the same thing, you know. I could totally see them doing that, and it would make sense. And it would be, I think, kind of cool to have a ship that doesn't go away. you know. And it's not something new either, because
we've had that glitch.
The malevolence.
We've had that glitch with the negotiator for the longest time. That ship that doesn't go away, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll be back after these messages with more on the state of the galaxy, and also talking about Ninth Sister coming up right here on the Escape Pod cast. HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
We want you. Join the GAC Chain Gang today. This is the commander of the 506 Procrastination Battalion and the leader of the GAC Chain Gang. I am sending out a call to action for any SWGOH content creators on Twitch who would be willing to broadcast their GAC attack rounds alongside some of our best, including Mr. Jiggabachi, Dr. Zeppers, Rico 1982, and the Bounty Honeys. What is the Chain Gang, you ask? We are an amazing group of content creators who are dedicated on streaming the Grand Arena Championship attack rounds on Twitch. The idea is to provide continuous content back-to-back from one streamer to the next and allow viewers to enjoy more SWGOH content, as well as enjoy the variety of streamers that are currently present in the group. If you are interested in joining the Chain Gang, please reach out to myself on Discord at AndyBees, #7465, or you can send us a message on our Twitter page at ChainGAC. Join us today. We have your back.
You're listening to the Escape Pod cast.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for sticking around. Now, we were talking about the state of the galaxy, but in that break, one thing that was missing was the Patreon leaderboard. I just want to give a quick thank you to all the Patreons who helped make this show happen, that are at the Kyber combatant level or higher. Thank you, Hot Sauce from HotUtils, Dr. Jojo, Dark Helmet, Force Strong, D, and Sephiranus. Thank you very much to all of you guys. We will have a end of season Patreon leaderboard, not this coming season, or not this coming week, because it'll take an extra day to get the data. We will have that for you the following week, in the off week for this season of GAC. So thank you for hanging in there. So, all right. Now, where were we? We were talking about State of the Galaxy. The
State of the Galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, we honestly covered it there. We do not have confirmation. Is this correct, Bob? We do not have confirmation that they are truly pilot lists. We checked the SWGOH events CG visits room where they would have put that, and there was nothing. Was that true, Bob?
Say it one more time. Sorry.
We were. Wow, this AI doesn't listen to us.
Well, yeah,
it's just like Alexa.
He's checking out the ship.
He's checking it out in a different way than we do.
I saw a sexy robot in the back, and I was a little distracted.
I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words now. There is no confirmation that these are pilot lists.
No, there is not confirmation. No.
All right. So there we go. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, Darknar says we were talking about the Ewok glider being added to the game. No, we were not.
I think it should be.
You go play Star Wars Lego Star Wars Battles on Apple Arcade to get your Ewok glider, okay?
Ewoks in space.
All right. So they also talked about Conquest. It began last week. They told us about the different data disks. And then last but certainly not least, Razor Crest will remain available where it currently is. It will be moving to its farm location sometime around the launch of Conquest 14.
Yes. Which means we have what, a month, like 2 more weeks after this, right?
Right.
So March. 1st of March.
So farm location to me says node, but there are people out there. Maybe this would be a fun one for you to look up, Bob. Did they initially say that it would not be on a node when it finishes its rotation?
Just a second, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Now,
people are saying that it's not going to be on a node. I think that it should end up on a node.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a high-end ship node, to be honest with you. That's my opinion.
It's an amazing ship. I mean, even I, who's terrible at ships, recognizes that the ship is solid, you know. And so it's going to need to be on something that takes a little bit of time. And that's not just me saying, oh, because people should be stuck behind it, or stuck farming it. Like I've said this for many years, that farming ships should be way easier because farming ships suck. But like the power of the ship, it needs to be worth more. And we don't have a lot of stuff to farm on ships. And so it would make sense to put, it on ships.
Okay, so there is nothing that says where it will be farmable. There's just a vague time when it will be farmable, and that's it.
Right, but there was nothing that said it won't be on a node. Correct? When it was first announced.
Correct. Yes. It didn't say if there's going to be on a node or not, so no one knows where it's going to be.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. So
you're welcome, bud.
My AI is so polite.
He is.
So after that, they then went on to talk about the meta. This is how they look for things to be tiered.
Mm-hmm.
Marquee and Galactic Chase.
So comparative.
Yeah, those are supposed to be the low-end tier. Now, they mentioned Iden Versio, which is already performing quite well with the right teams.
Yeah.
It's not meaning they're absolute crap. It's just meaning that type of character, a team built up of those type of characters, would be the C team, if you will.
Yeah. And so, like, I look at this as them trying to reiterate what they've talked about in the past, how, like, you have a galactic legend and you have all these characters and events and time and everything that goes into farming a galactic legend. It shouldn't be beaten by a marquee character just right off the bat, right? And then they've introduced these conquest counterparts that make them so much more effective, right? That like those counterparts shouldn't be beaten by Bodhi Rook, you know, who in my mind is lesser than marquee. He is the only character that was just given to players who were around at the time. So
This is very true.
he's less than good. He's less than marquee.
He wasn't even a marquee. He was a freebie.
He was a freebie.
So yeah, next above that tier, your B- groups are Journey Guide, like Revan and Sky and Luke's Commander Luke
CLS.
Skywalker, CLS, and Conquest units. So Razor Crest, Ahsoka, Maul, Dad Bod Boba.
Yep. Yeah, and again, like on their own, this makes total sense. You know, Jedi Knight Revan is an amazing character, but Jedi Knight Revan without a GL with him is not nearly as good. He will underperform.
But he's still great. He will still trounce the marquee galactic chase characters like Night Sisters.
Indeed.
Like in a correct if you have it them modded right, bounty hunters.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think that again, this is how it should be. I'm all on board here, CG.
Yeah. Then
keep it coming.
Then Galactic Legends are your A team. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, Rey, etc.
I love that they put the etc. there. I wouldn't have gone with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and Rey.
I put etc., but they put examples.
Yeah. Well, I know, but like for the examples, I would have put others.
And then Galactic Legends with a conquest counterpart. Example: Kenobi with Commander Ahsoka Tano.
Love her. She's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that matchup.
Now, they also put this note, and I loved it. This list assumes that squad compositions are highly synergistic and have comparable mods. This may not always be the case in practice, and if so, is not a balance issue. For example, a Galactic Legend with weak mods and a non-ideal squad may potentially be challenged by a well-modded and highly synergistic squad from the lower tiers.
Yeah, 100%, right? And I think before players complain, they need to check themselves, literally checking their mods. Did I lose because the person was better modded than I was?
Yeah. And then they also said that Omicrons should boost each, to put it in a nutshell, Omicrons boost a Galactic Legend team with an Omicron up a level. A Journey Guide could become a Galactic Legend, etc.
Yeah. So that puts Qui-Gon at the level of a Journey Guide character.
I mean, he really does. If you are not facing a Galactic Legend, you could wipe out an opposing GG squad, with the exception of the B1, but then, you know, you've got all these assists coming up with other characters that you have there. You know, I did it. You can do it too.
No, I think, again, I think that while they're telling us this is a matter of we're making sure we're setting expectations for the future for moving forward.
Right.
And again, because this is a not a road ahead, but the state of the galaxy, this is them setting terms. This is them saying, all right, all new players, anyone who's coming in, this is how it should work.
All right.
Right. So
let's get to the kit reveal of the Ninth Sister. You did a story time. I didn't include it because, of course, you're co-hosting today. We'll see what we get next week. If we don't get anything glaringly awesome, I'll run your Ninth Sister story time next week when Nev's back. We hope. We'll see.
I will say I do think that next week we'll be getting these ships, or at least one of them.
Well, it'll be a nice birthday gift. I'll say that much. So we've got Ninth Sister, who's basic. Oh, by the way, she is, of course, Dark Side Inquisitorius. She has a leader ability, Empire, Unaligned Force User, and Tank. A ruthless member of the feared Inquisitorius, who will stop at nothing in her hunt for the Jedi. Her basic does damage to target enemy, then deals damage again. So it hits twice, dealing 40% more damage. A rare does damage more on the second hit. Inflicts a stack of purge and possibly. And if the target is a Jedi, you get a second one that can't be resisted.
Mm-hmm. So, like you were saying earlier, this is going to be this purge mechanic is this new mechanic that will allow them to function really well together. And whatever final leadership that comes at the top of the Night Sister, or the Inquisitorius, probably the Grand Inquisitor, is going to use that stack of purge to do something awesome.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
So Special 1 has a cooldown of 4, and it is not worth my time. Deals physical damage and consumes all the stacks of purge. For each one removed, inflict that many dots on them for 1 turn, and Ninth Sister gains that many heal over time, or HOTS, for a turn. And if they're Jedi, dispel all their buffs while they're at it.
I didn't realize that it was HOTS. That is awesome.
I just came up with that on top of my head. People probably also say them, but yeah, I thought it was funny to say HOTS and dots.
That's awesome.
Second, anything on that?
So for me, the thing that I like about this one and Ground Pound, this is her Hulk smash move, where she just jumps into the air and punches the ground, and everyone's like, oh crap, she just hit the ground, and it like shakes everybody. I love it. I think it's wonderful. I think in practice this is going to be a lot of fun to play, and I'm curious, once I get her up enough, that she might be for each stack of purge removed, inflict that many damage over times. This under a Darth Vader lead might be a really fun dot mechanic to play around with. I'm really curious to see how it plays out. It'll be some time before I figure it out, because I'm not going to wail on her. But
remember, you have to have purge on them at the same time, and if you're using a Vader squad and that culling blade, you're removing any debuffs. Purge is a debuff.
True, but those DOTs stay. Like, that's as long as if you could wait and wait for that DOT to kick in, right? And then drop the purge with the not worth my time, adding that many more DOTs, and then you drop the calling blade, and it's that much more.
Yeah.
I don't know how it'll work in practice, so maybe it won't, but
thank you, Dickie Darkside, for resubscribing. Dickie Darkside has been subscribed for 20 months.
Oh, Dickie, good job, man.
Yeah,
we love you.
All right, and why don't you go ahead? Why don't you tell us all about her Ground Pound?
Oh, the Ground Pound. Deal physical damage to all enemies, inflict daze, defense down, potency down for 2 turns, which can't be resisted by the Jedi. Ninth Sister gains taunt for 2 turns, which is like, come and get me, boys. For each enemy inflicted with purge and damaged by this ability, Ninth Sister gains 10% defense stacking, max 50. for 2 turns. This is her tanking ability. Like, anyone who's read the Night Sisters, who's read the Night Sister, you know that she is a powerhouse, right? She is like, she's not great as a fighter, but she's like the Black Knight from Monty Python. You can cut limbs off of her and she'll keep coming. You know,
I thought for a moment that she was the one who Vader cut her arm off.
She was the one who Vader cut her arm off.
I thought that was Eighth Brother.
That might have also been Eighth Brother, but like when I was doing the research for story time, she loses a leg, an arm, and an eye. So it's Vader pokes her eye out somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know if he like force grabs it or something, but like he pulls her eye out. But and every time she loses a limb, she only becomes more powerful, right? It's like, oh, you took my leg? Well, that gives me more XP or something.
Tis but a scratch.
Tis but a scratch. Like, she is, and like, honestly, that's her unique, and we'll get to that in a second, but it's just a scratch. Like, she loses limbs like people lose car keys.
It was the 6th brother whose
thank you
left arm was to teach him a lesson of loss.
I was right that it was a brother, not Ninth Sister. Thank you, Bob.
All right, my bad. But like, this is a great ability, and like, she is going to be a very tanky tank. And I'm curious to see how the rest of the Inquisitorius matches up with her. You know, how it will all kind of, you know, rock out.
No. Her leader can't stop the Empire. Allies are immune to speed limiting effects. So instantly I look at this and go, this is the anti-Jedi Knight Luke. When an enemy gains bonus turn meter, Inquisitorius allies gain potency, 2% potency, 2% stacking for the rest of the encounter. No max on that one. And if the enemy is a Jedi, they have a 50% chance to gain a stack of Purge when this happens. So they basically, you know, stop purging yourself. Stop purging yourself.
Yeah.
Hey,
this is...
Go ahead. I was just going to say she is the territory war leader because all Empire allies will gain 20% defense, and Inquisitorius allies are being immune to ability block and stun when she's in the leader slot and has Omicron. An Omicron.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a good one. I really do. Now, would you put this on defense? Would you have a wall of, you know, a wall of the Ninth Sister in the lead? I would just be like, well, we're lost. I mean, I'd just be too afraid to go up against her.
You just take a team that's not Jedi against it. I'm sure there's, you know, they're marquee, so they should be able to be beaten by. We just went over this.
8 Jawas.
Yeah. And then finally, her unique, which is called It's Just a Scratch. For each other Empire ally present at the start of the battle, Ninth Sister gains plus 5 defense, max health, and tenacity, and the effects are doubled for Inquisitorius allies, which she is one of. Each time another Empire ally is damaged by a critical hit, she gains taunt and critical avoidance, 50%. And then the Empire allies gain 20% critical avoidance for 1 turn. And if the ally is also Inquisitorius, Ninth Sister recovers 5% health. So it's definitely the anti-JKL team.
Yeah, this is a good character, I think. I'm excited to see her come to the game. I'm excited to see the Inquisitors coming to the game. I've been one, just like many who've wanted to see them show up, and it's neat for sure. And this is, I think, a solid tank coming from a marquee. You know, I'm really excited to see how the rest of the squad fills out.
Yeah. All right. Bob, anything else that we missed that you did not let us know about? Because we are at the end of the second segment here.
Not at all. I think we got it covered. You guys did good for humanoids.
Yep. And well, we appreciate it, and we'll be deactivating you for the rest of the show. But we thank you for fact checking us during the duo log as always, Bob. And we'll see you next week. Okay.
No problem, guys. Thanks for turning me on for 20 minutes. We'll see you next week.
All right. So, guys, stick around. Coming up after this, we have the sexiest man in SWGOH, according to SWGOH magazine. Yeah. We have Gridan will be joining us in our incoming transmission in just a moment, right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod Cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is Patreo.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways want you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
Attention, we are receiving an incoming transmission. Attention. Attention. We are receiving an incoming transmission.
All right, we are currently awaiting him to rejoin us here. And the video is all messed up because I did not have a new version of the setup, so
I've been brought into the mechanism. I was ejected.
Yeah, I'll fix this live. So right now, Grid has not shown up just yet, so we're currently awaiting him. But I mean, what's been your experience this week in Galaxy of Heroes?
That is a great question, and I've got to tell you that this level 4 conquest raid boss, whatever, conquest boss with Lord Vader. I tried everything to destroy him, and every time I tried what I felt like would work, I'd get slaughtered. But I found someone. Let me bring it up. I won't play it or anything because I don't want to mess with audio or whatnot. But
here he comes.
There we go.
Red!
Here he
should be good.
Here he goes. All right, we'll jump over to the guest here. There we go. And Thad's very small, and I'm in the wrong spot.
That's what she said.
We're doing this live.
So it was Celiac Sarah.
Oh, Celiac Sarah is amazing.
Yeah, I just found her, and I was like, "This is amazing," and I was so happy. But she gave me she gave me, but she did a video, and I was like, "This is so good," and it got me through. And now, obviously with my refreshes and whatnot, I should be able to get the full clear.
There you go.
So
and the red
close.
box.
I'm hoping it'll be close.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us straight out of the Mountain Time Zone, he's about to run over. As soon as he's done here, he's running over to Heinze's channel. So, unfortunately, Heinze doesn't allow raids right now. So once we're done at the end of this show, go make sure that you go support Heinze and see this man who is the sexiest man in SWGOH according to SWGOH People magazine. And I'm not joking, guys. He truly is a professional model who plays games. Yes, it's true, Thad. And also,
I'll send you something.
He is the model.
Hey,
he was
no, calm down.
He was the model for Kyle Katarn in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Gridan.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me on. Sorry, I was a couple of minutes late there. Obviously I'm notorious for that, but it has been my goodness, has it been a day? It has been a day, man. So it's been pretty insane. I appreciate you guys' patience. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Now, we are glad to have you.
You went and got yourself promoted back to Kyber 1, a little bird told me.
I did, finally. So I started in Kyber 1, which was awesome. And I was like, this is going to be great. This will be fine. No biggie, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, things should be good. It should be more challenging, the whole kind of win-loss thing. And I was excited to continue. I was, coming off a 40 win streak in GAC, and I'm like, this is great. And yeah, that didn't last long. I got my butt handed to me. I just kept running into I have 7.6 mil GP. I have 4 Galactic Legends, and all of my opponents were 6 Galactic Legends, Star Killer, 8-9 million GP, and I was like, I can't keep up. I can't, and unfortunately, I just kind of dropped.
Are you still enjoying GAC?
Yes, and actually, I know it's kind of a simple question, but actually, yes. And some people who watch my stream might be like, dude, you rage all the time, and I mean, I do, but in part, it's now way more challenging. It's obviously way more challenging. You are going against people who tend to take the game a little bit more serious, which has been fun and been challenging. I feel like I'm constantly kind of like an underdog punching above my weight group. Like this GAC bracket, I'm the lowest at 7.6. Everybody is over 8 million, including somebody at 9.2 million GP.
Wow.
Everybody has 6 Galactic Legends, and I'm just like, hi, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm doing here. But I've been finding that at the same time very frustrating, also challenging, and I do enjoy a good challenge. I do enjoy trying to punch above my weight group. So while it's extremely frustrating, and I say all the time, the change in GAC to be like kind of win-loss based is a great step in the right direction. But I will say it forever. I really hope it's not the end. I really want them to take into consideration things like how many Galactic Legends you have, your mod rating, your mod score. If you have, X, Y, or Z powerhouse character like the Sith Empires and Gas and blah, 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 blah. I would hope they throw all that stuff, just kind of sprinkle it in there with the matchmaking. So I hope it's not done with matchmaking, but I will say it's a step in the right direction. And while it's frustrating right now, I understand it and respect it, and I hope they continue to give us a better experience. So it's kind of a yes/no answer because, yeah, it's annoying, but also at the same time, it's cool. So hopefully that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. How do you prepare for that? I mean, so punching above your weight class, I totally get that, except I'm always punching down and still losing. So, and I'm fine with that because I don't care. But I love being the biggest kid on the playground because it makes me feel more powerful. How do you approach that though? Like, how do you go into these battles with I don't want you to give me any trade secrets or anything like that.
No, I don't.
Like,
yeah.
But how do you approach that? What's your strategy for pre-gaming, pre-battle?
Drinking. No.
It helps.
No. It's it takes a lot of I have so much more respect for I mean some of those top end players. Like the number 1 player in the world right now is HotUtils, and HotUtils is insane, right? He's like I think he's 10.3 million GP, and his mods are disgustingly good. And I have a lot more respect for some players like that manage to stay at the top now. And I obviously can't speak for them, but for myself, when it comes time to punching above that kind of weight group or trying to figure out how I'm going to, tackle an opponent who has 6 GLs or something like that, there's a lot of scouting that goes on. I spend a lot of time on SWGOH.GG. I look at their GAC history, and in a simple way, and I am making a video on this, and this is why I don't care about, talking about it to everybody. I am making a video on it, and I'm actually going to be joined by Zareth and Fatal. We're doing a joined video together to talk about how we scout out opponents and how we plan our GAC defenses and whatnot based off of the opponents that we're fighting. And for me personally, I'm not going to speak for them because we haven't made the video, and I'll let them say whatever they're going to say. But for me personally, I look for habits. I look for, like, out of 10 GACs, X, Y, and Z team were on defense every single time. So I can kind of rely on, I don't know, Sith Empire being on defense, for example. Or I can rely on Grievous being on defense. And if I only see a team like once or twice, like, I don't know, Maldalorians, just for an example's sake, I don't bank on that being on defense, but I try and find things that I can rely on. Sith Empire, always on defense. SLKR, always on defense. JMK, always on defense. And then I start there and I build my way up. So if they always have JMK, then I know I need to plan a defense plan an offense for JMK. And then I just branch out from there. And then I look at on the flip side teams that they constantly fail against or that they constantly struggle against. Maybe they don't feel comfortable battling CLS on defense. So let's put CLS on defense. Something that they failed against or something that they use a team that frankly is like way better because they're uncomfortable fighting it. I look for those kind of weak points. And then I try and exploit all of that and then plan the defense in the same way. So like today, my opponent, he does not like going against, he has Bad Batch for either Qui-Gon or Separatist, which obviously is a very common thing. But I was able to trick him in putting my Qui-Gon team in front, and then I put my Separatist team on the back wall. And
there you go.
He's now in a very uncomfortable position of saying, oh yeah, Bad Batch versus Qui-Gon, let's go. And then the back wall opens up and now there's Grievous. And he's like, and he didn't get good banners on it. So little stuff like that, trying to force my opponent to do something that they are uncomfortable doing. And I try and do that by planning that defense in a way that I can try and exploit any of their weaknesses or take advantage of their consistencies. So little stuff like that.
Thank you.
I put probably more time than I should into GAC planning.
but you are appreciated for it. I mean, you just this past I think that it was either this last stream that you did or it was last week at least, where your subs just blew up in appreciation of you.
Yeah, I know
it's humbling. I know it's humbling.
Yeah, I don't even know why people watch me, man. It's just like every single time I was talking to some people, and it was a very humbling and interesting experience. That next month this is 2 years going. And I mean, Paul, you and the Escape podcast were I think probably my first ever like sort of step into, a limelight when it comes to SWGOH.
Second, because you were with Cubs.
Well, I mean, Cubs rated me, but like you guys were the first people who were like, hey, do you want to join, come on the show and chat with us? And I was like, dude, I went home and I told my girlfriend, I was like, the Escape podcast wants me on for a pod. Like, what? And she was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, why does anybody care? I'm just some stupid guy. And it still baffles me. And I was talking with somebody and they go, hey, can I ask you some questions about streaming and whatnot? And I was like, why are you asking me? And they're like, well, you've done this for 2 years, right? And I was like, oh my God, I have. I was like, oh my God. Like, do you have any wise words of advice? And I was like, oh no.
You're
asking me.
Your first advice was get that little device over to your right?
Yes.
That little Go XLR. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. This has been a game changer. The camera, I mean, I can't say it enough. I actually got a second camera that I'm going to be attaching here pretty soon, but this is the Sony 5100, and then I'm upgrading to its older brother, the 6400, which I know we're going to talk about in a second, but I had to use this for a commercial, and it doubles over as a streaming camera as well. So making those little upgrades and doing all this stuff, I can't do any of that without you guys, without people watching the channel and watching YouTube and watching Twitch and coming in supporting the channel with gifted subs and all that. And I just, it has been such a humbling experience. It really, really, really has. And sometimes, yeah, there's those streams where things just pop off, and I think a lot of it is alcohol induced. Just people start drinking and everybody's having a good fun time. We're all goofing and laughing and having fun. And I mean, I was sitting down talking with some people who were like, what's your goal when you're streaming? What do you hope to walk away with, from each individual stream? And honestly, I hadn't thought about it too much. And I was like, I mean, really, I just hope people learn something and just have fun along the way.
Yeah, and that's always the goal here. Just to entertain and give you a little bit of, we'd love to be more informative, but we're not going to talk out our butts. We're not going to.
Hey, I do it all the time, man. Don't worry about it.
We're not going to try to, we're not going to intentionally mislead you on something. You come to me with the territory battle question, I'm ready to go. You come to me with GAC, I'm pointing you to Neil.
Yeah. And so it has been a very, very humbling experience. It truly has, especially coming from, and I don't really want to spend too much time on it, but coming from someone who has spent a lot of time battling and fighting depression and self-esteem issues. It has been the nicest, hardest, easiest, best thing that I've worst thing I've ever done, because you're thank you so much, but why do you care about why do you care about me at all? And so it's a really, I am grateful every single day. I truly am.
I'm stealing this opportunity, Thad, to launch into the next question.
Feel free.
In fact, I sent you something in the.
I saw that.
Okay.
And
that's it. That's exactly what I'm about to say. That
Okay.
so hang on.
it's now my screensaver.
The depression and self-esteem issues, you have shed those like Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're I meant it when I said you are a model. You're represented by Wilhelmina.
Yeah.
Modeling agency. And you look great.
Yeah.
Whoever took those pictures used the good camera.
Yeah. Yeah, she is she's awesome. I'm actually seeing her next week. We're doing another photo shoot, so.
But you not only have done these photo shoots, but you are in commercials.
Yeah. It's really weird. It's really weird. And I kid you not, it started as a best way I could probably say it was as a joke. I was hanging out with some patrons and they were like, we really like your voice. Could you tell us a bedtime story? And I was like, are you serious? They're like, no, really, like just read something. And I was like, okay. And so like as a joke, I've been doing that a little bit, and it originally started as actually an interest in voice acting. It's actually what it kind of originally sparked as. And so I was just looking for either companies or people around me that were interested in a voice actor and might be interested in picking me up. And I found this agency nearby, and again, originally I was looking for a voice actor, and it just, I typed that and it just showed up, and I was like, I mean, I don't know, close enough, I guess. And so I applied, not thinking I would ever hear back anything. And they called and they're like, can you meet like here in the studio next week? And we want to talk with you and see if we can, snap some pictures and see if people are interested. And I was like, wait,
Really?
like you're serious? Like you actually like what? And so it was like almost a joke. And then they're like, no, seriously, like we would really like to represent you if we could. And I was like, oh my God. What do I do? And it's been a really interesting and a really fun and a really terrifying experience, because I mean, I don't even know how I'm a content creator right now, if I'm being honest. I don't really spend that much time on like social media and, the Facebooks. And I mean, I browse Reddit, but like, I don't really spend much time on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. And they're like, all right, so we're going to get you on Instagram. We got to make you a handle. And I'm like, oh no. Oh, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. And they're like, no, it's this really weird, like uncomfortable, but like also at the same time, really cool and fun experience. And it's something I've been interested in doing, but I never had. And this wraps back to the self-esteem and the depression that we were talking about. Is I always thought it would be really fun. And like in elementary school, I did plays, and in middle school I wanted to, but I got made fun of. And in high school, I got made fun of for it. And so I never did. And so now, like, kind of like circling back to being able to try it again, it's been really fun. It's been really, you just kind of show up and they're like,
living your childhood dream.
Yeah. And they're like, all right, pretend you're in some post-apocalyptic world and, you're the sole survivor with this one person. And so you're just out there with just like, who knows what. And they're like, pretend it's a gun. And you're like, let's go. And so it's like this like really fun, like imaginary world. And it's been really nice to be able to let go a little bit of some of those inherent fears that I have and be able to just kind of be me. I'll be my goofy self, and okay, make fun of me if you want, I guess. I'm having fun.
That has literally been my epiphany of the past 5 years, is that I'm tired of what you think of me.
Right?
I'm interested in what I think of me.
Yeah.
Oh, Dude, I spent so much time worried about what other people thought of me. I just slowly started hating myself.
Yeah.
Because I never was me. I just like woke up one day and it just felt like I was like, what am I doing? Who am I? Like, what's the, and so it's been really nice to, be yourself.
That's awesome, man. Like I love that. I remember when I was in high school, I was like so worried about what everyone thought of me and how I looked. And then my senior year, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to be me. And I had a hell of a lot of fun. And like now I'm just me, goofy and awkward. And it's so much fun. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, don't hesitate to start your life. Right? Don't put it in the back burner. Do what you want to do.
Oh yeah.
And what is best for you. Right? I love your story is awesome. I
don't think I'm anything special, man, but thank you.
Well, but it's something. It takes courage to step out of that comfort zone, right? Yeah. And a lot of people are too afraid to do it. And while I don't think I hope this doesn't come off wrong. While I don't think that it is necessarily like the biggest thing that you've done, it is a huge step to go out of that zone and follow your dream.
Yeah.
That's something that so many people are just too afraid to do. And I love it. I think that's awesome.
Thanks, man. It has been an incredible experience. The last 2 years have probably the last 2-3 years have probably been like the best years of my life. It has been for certain mentally, just to be able to be like, you know what, man, I play Star Wars for a living. I love it. You know what? I love Star Wars, man. The amount of times I've woken up in the morning and like didn't want to grab like a water bottle off my desk, you know, like the little side table. And I was like, come on, Force, come on, like, please, this one. And it doesn't ever happen, of course. But like, I'm a nerd and I love it. I'm a goofy, weird, kind of like awkward guy, and I'm an okay guy. But I've never been happier. And I would encourage as much as possible, anybody, if you can, take a hard look at like, who are you? What makes you you? Who are you? And try and at least be honest and true with yourself. And that was one of my big problems, is I lied to myself constantly about who I was so that I could try and impress the people around me. And it ultimately led me to a very not good place. So I don't know, man, at least be you. At least be you, because you're awesome. Paul, you're awesome. Thad, you're awesome. You guys rock. If you weren't you, I'd be upset. Be you. Yeah. Be who you want to be.
And that it's a very refreshing thing that the three of us, coming from almost an identical background in one certain circle, if you will, we all have that outlook. And once that outlook is embraced, sometimes you do become the black sheep. It's very true. But
you're the best damn black sheep ever.
You're the best damn black sheep ever. That's exactly.
You can be your best black sheep. You can. Yep.
You know, it also stems from the fact that due to the chemo and due to the what do you call it? The radiation, Christy and I can't have kids. So we're definitely the black sheep in that respect.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know exactly what you're referencing. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. I have I think I have like 13 nephews and nieces now, dude. Like, and everyone's just like all eyes on me, and I'm like, keep looking. It's not gonna happen. Just keep watching. Like, I don't know. So I feel you there, man. I feel you.
It's just an interesting type of situation, if you will.
Yeah.
But all right. How many more death nuts do you have to go until you kill yourself? I mean, what's going on here?
All right, look, I'm be honest. I think I'm calling it quits on those, man. I don't know if you got. I did one for
death nuts. Actually, you got to fill me in.
Oh goodness, here I'll show you. Let me grab one thing.
I'll kind of leave a little bit. It's a punishment that he takes. Here we go.
I did a charity stream.
Okay.
For Team C's, if you've heard of that, which I still encourage people to go check out. Honestly, yeah, like you guys. I mean, Paul, that was our first interview, as I was telling you about all the charity stuff that I try and do, and I try and do as best as I can to still maintain it. I did a charity stream for them, and if we raised $500, then I would do so. Regardless, like for each $100 that we were getting, I was going to do a level of the death nut, which is 5 levels of progressively hotter peanuts. that are covered in things like the Carolina Reaper and Maruga scorpion peppers and all these terrible death whatever nut names and stuff like that. If we got to $500, then when I got to level 5, I would add on an additional I think it was 3 minutes before I could eat ice cream or drink milk or something like that. I didn't make it. I didn't. I feel terrible. I did my best, but I made it to level 4, and I literally, like, I mean, I'm sorry, slightly team. I threw up. I couldn't do it. I didn't make it. And there are pictures of me somewhere out there now. I'm sitting on the floor. My shirt is up. I have an ice pack on my head and on my chest and on my stomach. Everything's red. There's a bucket next to me. And I'm just like, this is it. This is how I go out. This is how I die. This is it. I didn't think this was going to be it, but this is how I go to the death nut. And it was miserable. It was miserable. But each level of the death nut, what we had to do before we got to the next level is we had to read a Galactic Legends kit, the whole thing, basics, specials, leadership, the whole thing. And so we literally had a type a word counter that found which one was the longest. And Lord Vader's is the longest
of course
per word count. And so Lord Vader was a level 5 one. And so I made it to level 4, which was JMK. And dude, I made it through level 4. And then I was doing it side by side with Jobin. If you guys know Jobin, I was doing it side by side with Jobin. I made it to level 4. And yeah, I was like, you know, man, you're going to have to carry the torch all the way through. I have to tap out. And I went through up and just died. And, but yeah, level 5 on the Death Nut has 16 million Scoville units, which for a frame of reference, a normal jalapeno has about 6,000. So this thing had 16 million Scoville units. And yeah, I mean, I'm the kind of guy that eats, you know, pepper, and I'm like, ooh, that has a little bit of a kick to it. So yeah, and I've done it 3 times now.
Oh man,
there's a Death Nut. The first one I did that, and then I did Death Nut 2.0, and then I did that one for Team C's, but I failed. And so when we made it back to, I think it was 800 subs, I promised that I would do just level 5, not 1 through 5, just level 5, just the 16 million one. And I did that. That was recently, and oh yeah, that was not a good experience. I honestly, I think I might be done. I think I'm done with the Death Nut and spicy challenges. Do my stomach's like, hey, can we stop?
Were you Ralph Wiggum? It tastes like burning.
It tastes like burning.
I'm in danger.
That's, yeah, every single time when I mention the Death Nut, my stomach's like, oh nope, I'm in danger.
So, Gridan, what do you got coming up on your channel here? You're, I mean, other than starring in a car commercial, I don't know if we can say the make yet, but other than starring in a car commercial, and you've already done the Google ad, what is, I mean, you're the next Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Dude, I wish, man. Hang on.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What?
And then what was the, no, we have to talk about what is he? Lincoln. We have to talk about the Lincoln car commercials.
Yeah.
So I had the Google Play commercial, which was super fun. That was a couple of months ago, and that was really cool because I got the exclusive for we were talking about Kyle Katarn, Dash Rendar, Darth Talon. We were talking all about them, and I partnered up with a really cool content creator. His name is Austin Eruption. Really cool, awesome guy, and we hung out quite a bit. We made that video together, which was sweet. That one got all wrapped up. I had super fun making that, and it was really interesting working with like a company that was talking about all this different, you know, this and that and whatnot. So that was a really cool, and that was like my first kind of experience with it. I just wrapped up my commercial for, I actually got it right here.
Yeah, only say it if you're allowed to say it.
Yeah, this one's already done, and okay. I've talked about this one. Made a commercial for, actually it's backwards, but
I see
this was for
Legion.
Lenovo.
It says Legion on it.
Yeah. So this was for the Lenovo laptop, which the commercial will be out soon. That's why it's okay to talk about it, because everything's already been wrapped up and everything's already done. They're like, yeah, it's okay. It's not like some exclusive thing. That one was super cool because like I genuinely love that thing. It was so easy to like make a commercial about it because it's genuinely such a good, awesome product. So that was really cool, and that was really fun to work with all of them, and they're just fantastic people. Really, really nice, really awesome, cool people that I don't know. I didn't know what to expect, but it exceeded my expectation. They're really nice. They're really cool.
What model is that you were hawking?
This is the Legion 5.
Legion 5.
Nice.
Legion 5. I mean, seriously, it's like black magic. This thing is better than my computer. It is phenomenal. It has a Ryzen 7 processor and a 3050 Ti. How? It's so small.
That's insane.
Yeah, that shouldn't be possible. Like, the laws of physics are like, hey, we need to have a word with you guys. Like, this is bullcrap. But like, seriously, hugely impressive. I was really cool. It was really awesome to work with them. And then this actually, like, when we were talking earlier today, Paul, I got the email about that car commercial.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to have a weekend off because I've been working on this for like 2 or 3 weeks straight. And they emailed me and they're like, hey, we need you to do this audition like now. I was like, like, oh no. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really pumped. The channel, I got to be honest, I apologize to everybody who has been supporting me. I haven't been able to make videos on it lately. I really hope to get back into the groove by next week. But the upcoming projects, I am remaking every single Galactic Legend event guide for 2022, just updating everything that I've done. Going to be working with Zareth a little bit. If you guys didn't know, actually Zareth lives up the street from me. We're going to hang out. We want to make some videos like together in person, grab a beer and just kind of hang out. So we're going to be making some videos. I want to be making some videos with Fatal pretty soon. And then Mr. Big A up top. We've been hopefully working on something that I can talk about a little bit sooner, rather than later. But
we hope so too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
As long as it's not Hondo and you got it instead of Thaddeus and I, then we're okay.
I'll be sad.
It is. No, I would tell you, Thad. I would tell you if I yoink that from you. But it's.
But if anyone does, I hope it's you.
Okay,
I can agree with
that. If
that.
anyone does,
okay.
I hope it's you.
Thank you for your blessing. I will treat it with respect. I would treat it with respect. But yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I want to just keep on going and going and going and going. So I absolutely love it. I enjoy it. I really appreciate the support that I've been receiving from people and from you guys and chatting and hanging out with you guys. And we've had some serious kind of one-on-one talks, Paul and Thad. I had no idea how close we actually Thad. You met one of my friends, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about it. It's pretty sure.
It's a small world.
It's
a small world, but I'm like 90%. If I remember right, they ran into you or somebody that knows you, but they recognize Going Nerdy.
Excellent.
And so we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards because I don't want to say too much about it.
I will say my entire family, all of my brothers, we look the exact same.
Okay, it might have been a brother.
We're doppelgangers, but like 5 years apart. Well, it's weird.
Gridan, I will be up there in September. Okay, so.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah. So.
Fantastic!
I'm hoping to see everybody in September that lives in your area. Definitely hope to see you then. But
that'd be fantastic.
Anything else coming up that you want to give a quick plug to, other than the Legion 5 with its amazing processor?
Oh my God. I know, it's so weird. I feel like such a commercial. I'm just like, no, I just genuinely like it. I promise. I would love, honestly, you guys, I'm going to keep harping on it. If you guys have any way to do it, seriously.
Death nuts.
Oh, check out Team C's. I'm serious. Every $1 that you donate is 1 pound of trash that they remove from the ocean. It is super cool. We raised $30 million. So that's 30 million pounds of trash removed. There's so much more information about it. So please check it out for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. But they're not just like pulling stuff from the ocean like, hey, look, here's the pound of trash. Great. No, they actually are doing research on stopping the junk from making it to the ocean in the first place. It's really, really fascinating. It is an amazing, awesome project. I would encourage anybody to go check that one out. And here in a little bit, my main man Heinzie. Those are my two shout outs.
Yeah.
Please check out Team C's. Check out Heinzie, the Gridsy session every Friday night. We stream, we drink, we play GAC, we preload, and we have a good fun time. So I would super appreciate if you guys checked out Heinzie as well. That's all I got.
And
awesome.
Yeah, definitely check out Gridan. Information in the show notes.
I'm not important. You can skip me.
And also make sure that you pass along to your lovely bride a thank you for her kind words, and spend some time with her.
I know. I need to spend I just need to get away for like a month and just be like, hey, I owe you a lot. Let's just go away. But she is amazing. She is absolutely incredible. Oh, there she is in chat too. Look at her.
We will see you guys after this break. Neil will join us for getting Jiggabachi with it instead of Jiggabachi, because he's on vacation as well. But first, Dickie and the Noob right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod Cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena Tracking Bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Dickie and the Noob, Episode 2, The Neon. When we last left our heroes, their search for Hondo had brought them to the island of misfit characters, where Zori Bliss had provided them with the coordinates of a hive of scum and villainy, where every scoundrel in the galaxy winds up at one point or another. They were told to ask for the head of security, who knew every nerf herder who came through the doors.
Dickie, I put the coordinates into the database, and the ship just asked me, are you sure you want to go there? Outstanding debt, 4 million credits?
Look, Noob, you gotta remember, this is Hondo's ship, so all these notes are his. It means he's been to this place at least. Is there anything else in the archives about it?
It just says if the neon is lit, ask for the blue one. The blue what? Blue milk?
Sure, Noob, yeah, I'm sure that's what they're talking about. Regardless, the ship might get recognized, so we should probably just park it outside of town. Plus, it's pretty much a law of sci-fi. You need a journey from your ship to the destination, so just park it outside of town and let's get in.
Hey you with the droid, you want to buy some death sticks?
What's a death stick? Is that like a gun? I've got plenty of those.
Noob, put those things away. Remember, we need to lay low.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Death Stick Man. Sure, I'll take one death stick.
No, Noob, you don't want them. They're not guns. They're recreational sticks that, well, make you happy.
So, why do you call them death sticks? I think you need to rethink your marketing strategy.
Look, man, I'm sorry about my droid. I tell you what. We'll leave you alone if you let us know where I can find the place with the giant neon.
Look, man, yeah, just head down the dark alley, turn to the left. You can't miss it.
Thanks, man.
Wow, this place is actually nice. I was expecting something much seedier. There's something strangely familiar about it. And look, the Twi'lek behind the bar looks like she's about to turn 100.
Yeah, the reputation totally doesn't match. Hey, barkeep, can we get some information, please?
Get me a cup of coffee.
Aren't you supposed to serve us?
Well, I'd say it's very possible.
Okay, well, could you?
Ooh, somebody likes to party.
Look, I'm not trying to party. I'm looking for some information.
Well, I've been around the block, okay? I mean, I've seen a lot of things, and I've done one or two, and I know a few things.
Hey, Betty, could you go clean up in the back room, please? I'll take care of these guys.
It would be a welcome relief.
You'll have to excuse her. She's adjusting to her new duties. I'm free. I run security here.
Well, hey, actually, just the guy we were looking for. I was kind of hoping you could help us find a friend.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore. Ever since the owner got rid of the hollow tables, we've been trying to clean up our act.
Okay, well, that explains a few things, but that's actually not what I meant. We're looking for someone who goes by the name of Hondo Inaka.
Whoa. Don't let the new paint job fool you. This is still the kind of place where snitches wind up in a sarlacc. Do I look like a snitch?
Look, we need some information, meatbag. Are you gonna tell us what we need to know?
Whoa, noob, put those things away!
Dickie, it's really hard for me to sound intimidating since Yarmo messed with my emotional regulators.
You're not supposed to sound intimidating right now. We're having a civilized conversation. Look, I'm really sorry about my droid.
I'm not saying another word in front of him.
Yeah, fair enough. Noob, could you just go help Betty clean up in the back?
But...
Noob, please, you're not helping at all.
Fine, but don't think I'm cleaning anything.
Okay, thanks, Noob. Just please go in the back. Look, I'm sorry. Where were we?
Look, man. How long have you had your droid?
Noob's only been with me for a few days so far.
How much do you know about his past?
Well, I know the guy he was with before pretty well. He was a really good guy who would whisper to himself often, but, apart from that, a pretty solid guy.
Yeah, well, that droid used to have a real problem with holotables. Kept mumbling something about the droid meta is coming. He owed the house thousands of credits. We knew the only way we were going to see any money back is if we wiped his memory and sold him to a pawn shop. I'm guessing that's where your friend found him.
Well, it's going to be really hard to contact him to ask him, are you sure it's the same droid?
Look, again, I'm no snitch. But I find it real peculiar when someone comes in here looking for Hondo with Hondo's old droid.
What do you mean, Hondo's old droid?
Yeah. The two of them used to come in together. Look, I honestly have no clue where Hondo is today, but I'd bet that droid has something in its memory banks that'll help you out.
Huh. Well, thanks for that. That's certainly interesting.
Dickie, I'm out of here. Betty is trying to get fresh with me.
And now I'm gonna have to kill you.
Betty, stop harassing the clientele.
Later on that night aboard the mothership. Hey Yarmo, look, Noob is powered down for the night. I need to know if you can boot him up in safe mode or something where we can access his memory banks. Well, it seems that Noob used to actually be Hondo's droid, and he had his memory erased and sold to the pawn shop. I guess that's where Helly found him. But I'm hoping there's something in his memory banks we can find. Tune in to next month's episode of Dickie and the Noob to find out what is hidden in Noob's memory banks.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. If you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the greatest gift would be for me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
And now, it's time for Getting Jiggabachi with It on the Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back into this segment. Normally getting jiggy with Jiggabachi, but this week Jiggabachi's off, and you guys did have noticed that Nev wasn't here, but Nev is now here. I wanted to bring him on to one more time remind you guys that any donations this month, every single one of them, is going over to Neil, so his daughters and he can enjoy the time when they get here. When are they coming in? April?
I hope looking at April the 3rd or the 4th, something like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we're getting Nevy with it, as Bones said. But Nev, good to see you. I know this is not the ideal circumstances, but it's absolutely good to see you.
It sucks to be me at the moment. Like,
do you want to tell people publicly what exactly happened?
Yeah. Basically, the basement got basically. So I was about to sit down and do round 3. I was literally sat down at the studio, turned all of the studio lights on, sat down at the PC, and I leaned down to turn the PC on, and I noticed that there was a pool of water at the bottom of my feet where the carpet meets the computer desk. And I'm like, what the hell? So run around to the back, and I hadn't switched it on, thankfully, and the power bar is just sat. The 2 power bars, because I've 3 monitors, PC, there's lots of stuff. There's lots of power. Everything's powered up, and they just sat in a couple of millimeters of water, and it was just flowing in from because the staircase was next to me there. So I got up quickly, I lifted them up and rested them on the bottom of the desk because there's just a lip at the bottom that I could rest them on. And then ran around to the other side of the stairs, and water's literally flowing in through the utility room at the bottom of the wall. So yeah, I quickly switched everything off, made sure the electricity was isolated. That was around about, that was between 11 a.m. and 12. Not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. No, that must have been the day before yesterday. And basically, it took me 6 hours, 6 or 7 hours just to get it mopped up, and then get some suction. And then it started raining again. So from probably about 9 p.m. until 6 a.m. in the morning.
Jeez.
And I got into a routine. See, I have these 9 towels, and they're strategically placed. You saw some of the photographs.
Yeah.
So I've got these 9 towels strategically placed all the way around the basement to try and direct the flow of water to a drain that's in the middle of the basement. That's literally what I was trying to do. And then I would just go pick up one towel, put one down, pick that one up, take it to the sink, wring it out, go to the next towel, put that one down, pick that up, wring it out. And that's what I was just doing. And I was just doing that every 2 hours. So I didn't get any sleep that night. I just literally, instead of setting an alarm, I just set a timer on my phone of 2 hours. And that was it. Because I have to go back, because once I had the suction vacuum cleaner on, and it stopped raining, it was kind of like just mopping up what was left in the wall. But basically, there's a the previous owners of the house had to have the entire south wall foundation redone, and it looks like a good job. You can see the concrete, but obviously they haven't. Right at the corner of the house, they have not bonded adequately the new concrete to the old concrete, and water's got in. It's frozen, expanded,
and pushed it more.
And pushed more in.
And then the cracks got bigger. More water's got in. That's frozen, expanded, and over the duration of the winter, it's just gotten worse. I mean, there is a chunk of concrete out about that big outside, and when I put my foot on it, I can feel how loose it is, and that's where it's coming in. So today, and it snowed. We got what was it last night? We got about 9 inches of snow. So I'm trying to strategically shovel that so that it won't melt anywhere near the corner of the house. And I found a piece of wood, so I put the piece of wood down. I used some old plastic, wrapped the plastic around, put some bricks behind it to try and, because I know the snow is eventually going to melt, to try and direct it around where that piece of concrete is, that I know if any water goes down that, it's coming straight into the house. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm not going to know if it's going to work until the snow melting.
Well, Neil, it's I am very I'm very happy that nothing was catastrophically lost, that you are alive and safe in this situation. And we're here to help you in any certain way. If we can make it happen, ask.
I did my basic electrical principles when I was in the army. So as soon as I saw water, it's like, okay, I need to be in there and there. Let's go. Let's just isolate the basement. So I isolated everything except for the section of the basement where the router is plugged in, so that we still had internet.
Priorities.
Yeah, priorities, of course. Yeah,
but it sounds like it could have gotten a lot worse.
Well, here's the thing, right? I was home at the time, and it had probably only been flowing into the house for maybe 10. If I got to the basement, here's the thing: if I'd started streaming maybe 20 minutes sooner, my entire rig would have been switched on. Everything would have been switched on when the water started pouring in. I mean, I might have noticed it, but if I'm staring that way, you're not looking down at the floor.
Yeah.
So there is that, and I haven't plugged in the tower and turned it on yet. So fingers crossed. One of the power bars, the one that I'm going to use, is dry. I've already plugged that into the wall. I plugged in an old radio alarm clock into it, because I'm like, if it's blowing up, I don't care, because it's one of those alarm clocks, but it's got a 1 and a 2 amp USB charger on it. So I don't use it as an alarm clock. I use it as a charging station. But I don't care if I lost it. So I'm like, okay, switch it on, plug it in. And the time came on, it didn't blow up. So yay. But the other power strip I've got, there's a black one back there that's like shaking it. And I could just hear, I can hear some sloshing. So I'm going to let that one dry for a little bit longer before I even attempt it. But we'll see what happens.
Well, let's get some Patreon's choice in here, because that's what we do here on the bridge. So Zaz is the only one who's asked any questions, so we're going to fire these off rapid fire. Do you prefer the blocky ships from the original Star Wars trilogy, or the sleek and shiny ships from the sequel, and why? I like the Interceptor, and it's kind of in the middle. That's honestly when we talked about this when it was originally announced. The TIE Interceptor is one of my very, very favorite ships, kind of like the Silencer looks, if you will. But I like it was in the middle of the original trilogy, and when they progressed to the hot rod look. What about you, Thad?
So I actually prefer the ships from the prequel trilogy. Those are kind of my favorite. Like the shininess of the like the new Mando ship that will probably be coming in the next little bit. But the Mando tool time moment, Ryan, you know what I'm talking about? The new Mando ship. Instead of the
Naboo Starfighter.
The Naboo Starfighter. But I like the original Naboo Starfighter. I liked Padme's cruiser. I mean, there's a lot of. I liked Padme's ship when it was piloted by Vader on Mustafar, which is a dope comic book if you've ever seen it. That one's awesome. But I just like that shininess, because a lot of those ships I feel like were designed with what they would look like rusted 20 years from then. And so I like those. I don't know. I think they're just kind of cool.
All right, Neil?
No, I'll always go with the original trilogy, because they had to build them. There was no CGI. So every ship was physically built. They made models of absolutely everything. They didn't make models of absolutely everything. I think some of the ships that were in, a lot of the ships that have been used, it's like what would look good on CGI, not what would look good.
Yeah.
And I just think that, with the exception of the Razor Crest, the Razor Crest is definitely the exception to the rule. But I mean, you can't even get you could get all of the original trilogy ships. Eventually, you're able to get them all. You know, you're able to get the X-wing and the A-wing. I mean, I've got an A-wing. I own an A-wing. The Y-wing. I own a Y-wing. They just look good. They look better. They're better models. I mean, for goodness sake, you can't even get a Razor Crest. Hasbro, there's no Hasbro or Kenner Razor Crest. It's like why?
There was a Lego one.
There's a Lego one coming out. Yeah.
It doesn't matter that whether there's a Lego one or not. That there is no Hasbro. There is no Hasbro or there's no Hasbro one or Kenner one.
Right.
I've even got Slave One. You know, I mean, it's not complete. It's in pieces. It's missing the 2 wing parts, but I don't care. It looks good. It looks very, very cool.
All right. So these nerdy network personalities and adjacent personalities are cast in a Star Wars movie or series. What occupation do they have? And here we go. We're going to just rapid fire down the list. No explanations needed. Gridan, but you can't say a model. I'm going to say Gridan is a bartender at a swanky Tatooinean bar.
He's a Lobot.
He's a HoloNet news anchor.
Ooh. All right, Big Country Mags. I'm going to say that he's a bounty hunter.
Load lifter.
Mechanic.
All right. For Thad and I, the Nev.
Ooh, the Nev.
Imperial officer.
Because I have to be.
No. ISB officer. ISB officer, not just Imperial.
What rank?
Captain.
Not good enough.
Colonel. Like you, Lauren.
But
major. I prefer major.
Wasn't Yularen dropped to captain though?
No. Major's between captain and colonel.
Okay.
Yeah.
The colonels have responsibility. Majors don't have as much responsibility, but they have rank so that they can tell people in the field pretty much what to do. So
all right.
Hold on. So I'm going to adjust mine just a little bit. Former ISB officer.
All right. For this one's for Thad and Nev. Me, Paul Anthony.
Moth Nev. I'm going to say Paul is a Rebel Radio talk show host.
I'm going to say a supervisor at a company for data processing. And he rules the shop floor with an iron fist because spreadsheets. Where are your spreadsheets? Why are your spreadsheets not
Where
here?
are my TPS reports?
All right.
Yes. Where are my TPS reports? Jabba the Hutt wants these reports. I'd rather not end up at the bottom of the Sarlacc pit.
I don't want to be Rancor Poodoo.
All right.
Yeah.
So now, of course, this one's for Neil and I, Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. I am saying he's the Alex Jones of Coruscant.
I love it.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's he is without a doubt he's one of those conspiracy theorists that lives out in the middle of nowhere, but broadcasts a pirate signal onto the HoloNet.
I've been telling people for years that there's something going on with this Sheev Palpatine fellow. No one wants to believe me, but I can trace it back to Coruscant, from Coruscant to Naboo. He's in bed with the Munes.
All right, Dickie Darkside. I'm going to say that he's once again staying on Coruscant. He's a rock jock playing the hits from Max Rebo on K Empire.
I'm going to say Dickie is a former clone trooper turned fry cook.
I'm going to say that he is the senior greeter on the senior greeter for a sail barge to the stars. You know, that person that stands at the front and is just really nice to everybody because he's Canadian.
All right, Mr. Jiggabachi. He's Max Rebo's bassist.
He's Max Rebo. It's just the ponytails move to the front and to the nose.
No.
I'm going to say he's the agent to all of the bands in the galaxy.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right, and our good friend and Patreon, Dr. Feelgood. Zaz asked for that one. Go ahead.
Dr. Feelgood is Dr. Evazan's trainer.
So he's not he's not Pondo Baba. He's the opposite of Pondo Baba.
He's the one who trained Dr. Evazan.
All right, Dr. Feelgood is the one handing out the bounties for the Empire.
I'm going to say spice dealer to the stars.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right. Question for Bob, and we'll get Bob's answer in the chat here. What CGI honey would he want to meet the most? So there we go. Zaz also finally asks, has Nev thought of having his studio in a loft conversion?
The loft isn't big enough to convert.
There you go.
I haven't even been into the loft yet, but there's less space in the loft than there is in the basement.
Oh, that sucks.
All right, Neil.
Hold on. Neil, you are British. Have you considered taking over a neighbor's territory and claiming it as yours and using their space for your studio?
No, I haven't.
That's something to consider.
Colonialism went out a couple of 100 years ago, mate.
That's just what Big Pharma and Big News wants you to believe, right?
Conspiracy theory.
All right.
Hey, if it wasn't winter, I would do like the garage or the shed or something.
do what Heinze did. Build a studio out in the out near the driveway.
Yeah, I don't have the funds for something like that.
Okay.
If everybody wants to buy one of those external sheds, and then then fine, I'll build something outside, but because there's space in the garden, but nothing much else.
All right, Neil. Do you think that you'll be back up to be able to do some GAC this week, or are we on hiatus?
I have absolutely no idea. It is possible that I might have a jewelry. I don't know. We'll just have to. It's wait and see. Because I don't know where anything is, because I literally ripped everything out of the studio before, so that I could get it out, so that I wasn't trying to pull things apart in a pool of water. It was like I literally threw down 5 towels, and then I went to the back of the tower, and I was just pulling things out left, right, and center, holding it, pulling it out of the back, trying to hold a big bundle. Everything's tied up. I mean, I'll show you. Watch.
He's, for those listening to the pod version, he's literally picking up the entire.
Oh man!
He's got the keyboard, the speakers,
like
everything.
When you pull everything out all in one go, and you're holding it in your hand so that it doesn't touch the floor.
Yeah,
man.
I have to untie all of that, figure out where it goes.
Yeah, it's a rat's nest of cords.
Oh, Nev.
Yeah, we definitely feel for you, Nev, and as we said, if there's anything we can do, please do let us know. Yeah. We're here for you.
Wouldn't be a problem if it wouldn't be a problem if I lived in California. I could just go to the studio, the Twitch studios, and say, "Give me a studio. I'm a Twitch streamer."
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a studio, room right over here. Just saying. No. It still has the stuff to put the drop down or the green screen drape.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Neil. Thank you so much for everything that you do for the channel. I've said that to you before, and you know that I mean it.
Oh yeah.
But this is our chance to try to help out. So just let us know what we can do. Thad, what do you got coming up on your channel?
That is a great question. I will most likely be streaming one, if not both, of my next GAC tournaments, my next events. If I can get in tomorrow morning, that'll be great. Obviously, Monday's a holiday, so I'll probably be able to get in another one sometime that day. I've got some book reviews that I need to be putting together, so I haven't done that quite yet, but I really need to go back and talk about Thrawn and how amazing it is, and let more people know.
Could I just say one thing before we go?
Absolutely.
Yes. I said it in chat during the countdown, but a big rest in peace to Tom Veitch. Tom Veitch, along with Timothy Zahn, basically created the extended universe. He wrote Dark Empire, Dark Empire 2, Crimson Empire, Tales of the Jedi, and him and Timothy Zahn with Dark Empire, and then the Thrawn trilogy basically started what was to become the timeline for the extended universe. Obviously, there was a bunch of other books and stories that were like one-offs that had come out before, like Han Solo and Lando and all of that. But Tom Veitch's Dark Empire and Dark Empire 2 and Crimson Empire, those graphic novels, and then, just massive loss to the Star Wars community.
Yeah.
Speaking of the books, Thad, 15 hours to go for to finish this, to finish Lesser Evil, and then I will join you for that talk of the Thrawn prequel.
They are phenomenal. So all right.
Well, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure to entertain you. Thank you for tuning in this week. We we'll be back, and for my birthday, on my birthday this week, or this time around, the 25th, we'll be back again. It'll either be Nev in his new digs, or Thad will fill in again, and we'll talk to Neil again. But nonetheless, anything donated this month through the donation link in the show notes, through bits on Twitch, or subs, everything is going to Neil to help with his daughters, and if there's anything left over, to help him get this new location of his studio up and running. So, thank you, Neil. Thank you, Thad. Anything before I let you guys go?
No.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us. Be nice to each other. What do you got to say to me, Thad?
Just looking for the button.
You know what? I want to do this. I'm going to go out on this. I want everybody to remember to smile.
And stay nerdy.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? It's gotta be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.